Okay, one more method that I'd like to talk about, which is inherited from object. This is not as useful as toString and equals, but still it's worth knowing about. And this is the hashcode method, which allows you to access or print out an object's hash code. What is a hash code? A hash code is basically a unique, it's just a number, and it's a unique identifier for the object. Okay, so basically, I have here, okay, so we have these two. I'm going to pick on these two objects now. We have a Harry Potter backpack and an Olaf lunch cooler, okay? And so what we'll do is I'm going to just print the hash code. You don't have to override it or anything. It's just like a simple utility method that will return a hash code, okay? So let me, you know what, I think I'm going to comment out this. This is going to come later. Okay, so we're printing the hash codes of these two objects, the Harry Potter backpack and the Olaf lunch cooler. Okay, so you can see these are two different objects and they have two different hash codes. Just some long, meaningless number. So the hash code, it's almost like, imagine yourself at Moraine Valley. You have this unique student ID that's maybe 7 or 8 digits. It's a number that belongs to you and only you. And if we have that number, we can find you in the system at least, on campus. So that's like your hash code as a student object on campus. So anyway, every object has a unique hash code. Let's play with this a little bit. What I'd like to do is, hang on here, I'm going to uncomment this. I am going to, you know, let me just, I'm going to try to uncomment all of this. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to create a second object reference called Olaf2. And I'm going to assign it this value, which is, in fact, this one, the Olaf lunch cooler that already exists in the program. Okay. What is going on? So then we're going to print that hash code of the brand new Olaf 2. Okay, so these are the hash codes of inventory number 3, the original Olaf lunch cooler, and the new Olaf 2. Okay, what is going on? How many objects, how many Olaf lunch cooler objects do we actually have in memory? We have 1 copy in memory and 2 references pointing to it. We don't have 2 separate Olaf coolers. We have 1 in memory, 2 references pointing to it. Okay, let me show you a real life example. Okay, let's say Abraham Lincoln was standing in the room that you're in right now, okay? His physical body is in the room, and that is an object in the room, okay? You can call him Abraham, you can call him Abe, you can call him President Lincoln, you can call him many things, and those references point to that object, this object standing in your room. Okay, so that's a difference between an object and an object reference. So names, like of people, act like object references. It's a reference that we use to point to a person's physical body. Okay, so this is a situation I've just created in the program with the 2 Olafs. I've got the original Olaf, which is in the inventory 3 position of the array. And then I have Olaf 2, a second reference, but they're both pointing to the same Olaf object. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so with that in mind, we have this Olaf 2 reference that's pointing to an old, already used object that's already in the array. Why don't we change that and we'll assign it, let me uncomment this. Okay, let's give Olaf 2 its very own brand new shiny cooler object that is completely separate from the original. So I'm going to assign the Olaf 2 reference a new item. I'm going to create a brand new shiny item. It's going to be another cooler, but this one has an inventory code all its own. It's super expensive. We'll say it's a super rare version of that cooler. And then when I print out that hash code, you'll see it's going to be different. Okay, so over here, you know what, let me comment this one out. This was when they were still the same. Okay, and so now there's the new one. You can see these are the two Olaf coolers. I do have two separate objects in memory now. Okay, so yeah, that's the hash code. It's, you know, something you could know, you should know. I'm probably never going to ask you to, you know, provide one or something, but it's a thing that I'd like you to know.